This is the second in our series that we call Six Big Solutions. In this project, Common Sense, Common Good, we work to continue the project that Thomas Paine instigated back in 1776. This is an endeavor of our modest little charity organization, Kiva Circle. To put this into context, here are some of our political problems facing the people today. You probably know them, but we tried to put them into politically neutral terms. And that is that we, the people, are split by a duopoly of political parties operating, competing, and fighting within our government. And this rupture is amplified by an unending media propaganda that is targeted to individual traits and emotions and beliefs. Our government serves wealthy and powerful donors, and not us, the people, we the people. These circumstances, we believe, betray the founders' intentions that government will protect our liberties and our rights and promote our capacity to govern ourselves according to the people's consent and general will. In our last episode, we gave an introduction to our six big solutions, and we believe the nation faces huge problems. And when we say big solutions, we mean they're huge, and big difficulties demand big solutions. And in this case, here they are. And I'll run through all six of them quickly. Unite the people. 2, popular sovereignty and representation. 3, entrench foundational American principles into the Constitution. To do that, number 4, initiate an Article 5 constitutional convention and institute effective operations within government and improve our electoral procedures. Now, those are, I believe I counted 25 words with a very broad range of human experience and social operations. And as we explained before, we're going to present these 2 at a time and listed above, and they're more or less logically connected. Thomas Paine came up with ideas, mostly ideas for how to implement the first 2, unite the people and the popular sovereignty and representation. Paine has an engineer's mind and imagines how to restructure relations among American citizens and to redirect forces to create balance and harmony in our society instead of the conflict we live with today. So, Mr. Paine, excuse me, I introduce you to explain your social engineering blueprints for a new and better United States.
Engineering. Sir, I have been accused of many things, but I accept that one. My father taught me the trade of making ladies' stays, now called corsets. There is, I confess, some resemblance to social engineering. A staymaker improves an imperfect figure by applying pressure, drawing cords, and directing attention where the client wants it. In my day, those cords were made of twisted linen. Now it is money, favors, and twisted reality. Today, the cords of politics are campaign contributions, and the distractions are fashioned from lobbyists, government contracts, lavish entertainment, appointments, and every variety of consort or temptation that money can contrive. I apply the corset metaphor to government. I envision the power of the people to restrain government power so that people are free to shape their lives. I seek to design political institutions so they conform to the consent of the governed, not conform to government stays. I hope to free, activate, and especially unite citizens to govern themselves. It is my assignment to explain how to achieve big solutions 1 and 2, unify the people and enable popular sovereignty and representation of the people. I begin with unite the people. We propose that to do that, the people should begin to identify who among them is qualified to represent them. We do not mean anything like the usual procedures of usual American politics. Unite the people, identifying citizen delegates. Big Solution 1, identify citizen delegates. This may be our most ambitious proposition. Few Americans realize that there are well-tested, common-sense methods to conduct productive discussions, including those about difficult and controversial public issues. Hundreds of citizens' assemblies, deliberative forums, and community dialogues occur around the world. They have demonstrated that ordinary citizens can produce thoughtful recommendations on deeply divided matters. We envision this as a nationwide movement, but it must begin somewhere. Why not start it everywhere all at once? In every town and village, county or parish, church or synagogue, fraternal and women's groups, veterans organizations, schools, colleges and corporations, non-profits and foundations, and states. Almost anyone can organize and conduct such deliberations for the benefit of their members and their communities. Citizen delegates. Our long-term goal is for governments at all levels to support this campaign to unite the people. A central feature of that movement would be to begin training ordinary citizens to serve the cause of American self-government of, by, and for the people. Citizen delegates are ordinary citizens who are appointed to serve the cause of American self-government of, by, and for the people. How do we propose to identify citizen delegates? There are two American political systems that are relevant in our proposal: elections and juries. We use Oregon procedures to describe these two options. This is a conceptual framework and does not stipulate any procedures. In Oregon, county clerks manage elections under the Oregon Secretary of State. They register voters, maintain voter rolls, manage and mail ballots, receive and process ballots, and certify county election results. In the case of jury pools, they are determined and managed by the Oregon Judicial Department. It maintains an annual master jury list, which combines voter registration and Oregon driving license records. When needs arise, circuit courts summon jurors at random from that list. We believe the court procedure is more appropriate for our proposal to recruit citizen delegates. Further, we suggest a voir dire process similar to court practices. That is, citizens will be summoned before a magistrate as prospective citizen delegates. That magistrate could be a panel like a grand jury, but a better term could be appraisal panel. Some citizens who receive the summons might be eager to serve, while others decidedly are not. Those who desire appointment could bring evidence and advocates to testify as to their character and knowledge, making them appropriate. The magistrate panel would not judge partisanship except to avoid extremes. The panels are expected to identify those who are knowledgeable about matters of public concern and motivated to reach accord with and for the common interests of society. The Oregon Grand Juror Oath. Grand jurors serve in every criminal court and review evidence presented by prosecutors. They determine whether probable cause exists for criminal charges through an indictment vote. Oregon law requires grand jurors to swear to an oath to impartiality, truth, and resistance to personal or political bias. Adapting an oath for citizen delegates. In our vision, magistrate panels would choose citizens amenable to deliberation of political topics, meaning they choose those inclined to impartial analysis, then looking forward with active, open, and constructive deliberation to recommend policies to serve the common good. If selected, then those citizens would swear to an oath adapted to their assignments. Before any of this, however, an essential step is to make high-quality civic education freely available to every American. Governments, educational institutions, and non-profit organizations should offer accessible courses in civics and critical thinking. Self-government cannot endure unless citizens possess both the knowledge and the habits necessary to govern themselves. Liberty depends not only upon good institutions, but upon informed, capable, and engaged people. Soon we will explain a variety of roles these citizen delegates will serve. But first, there are major barriers. Governments and political parties will resist these ideas. It will require public pressure, or even insistence, to compel governments to act to prepare citizens to serve as citizen delegates. Citizen delegate is our label for a new civic institution and American social practice. Like notaries public, Citizen delegates would be recognized for integrity and competence. Unlike notaries, they would serve on panels of public deliberation on political matters and would be visible in the public sphere. There are other barriers. Many Americans are skeptical about such proposals. We expect accusations of BS. There is also Avery's limited experience that local governments show little interest and even less resolve in pursuing such radical ideas. American governments govern citizens rather than working with citizens. Few government administrations possess the incentives or experience to engage ordinary citizens in meaningful self-government. This is aggravated by the reality that most Americans have lost faith they have any agency or effect on government policy choices. Creating that demand for agency and those capacities is one of the principal objectives of our proposals. Big Solution 2, Popular Sovereignty and Representation. What do we mean by popular sovereignty? The word popular refers to the people or the public, not to how well-liked an idea may be. Our committee proposes this definition of popular sovereignty. Popular sovereignty is the people's authority to establish, preserve, and ultimately alter political institutions through collective public action. By collective public action, we mean what Jean-Jacques Rousseau called the general will. We contend that is what the Declaration of Independence expresses as the consent of the governed. By acting in concert, we borrow Hannah Arendt's signature phrase, "Liberty is not personal, it is free people cooperating for common good." The word sovereignty, however, requires consideration. In ordinary language, a sovereign is understood as ultimate, undivided authority. Kings, dictators, and absolute governments claim such sovereignty. The American constitutional system appears to reject that model. Rather than locating authority in a ruler, it disperses powers among three branches and between federal and state governments. The framers hoped that power would restrain power. We contend this tactic has lost its effect. Patrick Henry argues that theory does not hold. In 1788, he passionately warned that the federal government, and especially the executive and judiciary, would overpower states. Many Americans today say he was correct. Hold those thoughts. In our next episode, Dr. Franklin will help us examine sovereignty more carefully, because sovereignty is ultimately about power, and power is the currency of politics. Meanwhile, we ask a pointed question. Where and how do the people of the United States exercise any sovereignty? How is it that we propose to achieve popular sovereignty and representation? We focus on the representation question. We think our big solution for that will convince you that we mean big business when it comes to public power. It is a big solution, but not quite as big as it sounds. We propose to expand the House of Representatives by 13 times. There are 435 members there now. That would make the number 5,655. But remember, we said this is not as big as it sounds at first. We have a lot of explanations for this solution. These 5,655 additional members are not elected representatives. They do not cast votes in Congress. They are 13 citizens from every congressional district drawn randomly from pools of qualified citizen delegates in their district. Most of them serve locally, while some serve in the capital to assist and hold government to account. How did we arrive at 13 times more representatives? That is based on the ratio of population to representatives that the founders set up with the first Congress in 1789. When the U.S. federal government began in 1789, there was one representative in the House of Congress for every 60,000 people. James Madison, the father of the Constitution, wanted the ratio to be 1 for every 30,000 people. Today, the ratio is 1 per every 787,000 people. You can see the numbers here if you want to check the math. We are represented now at 1/13 the rate that US citizens were represented when the nation began. This simple graphic displays the ratio so we can see. That flat blue bar is how many citizens congressmen served in 1789. The big red bar is the caseload now. And government now does many times more than it did in the beginning. The United States conducted its first census in 1790, but the results were not calculated in time for the first Congress. In 1793, the second Congress created even more representative positions, and those representatives served even fewer citizens, closer to Madison's goal of 1 for 30,000 people. How do we get this number of new 5,655 representatives? We suggested these citizens would serve 2 different roles. We proposed that most of the 13 would serve in their home districts. The roles for most of them, 9 or 10, would stay in their districts and work with their communities as assistant representatives. They would have local offices and maintain communications with the elected representative. The remaining 3 or 4 would be congressional associates and serve at the Capitol to assist, observe, and provide oversight. We are covering a lot of ground here. These ideas stretch into our ideas for electoral reforms. One of the big weaknesses in US elections is that congressional districts usually favor one party or the other. We want America to become a multi-partisan cooperative practice. This proposal, Big Solution, raises a lot of questions about how to implement ideas. We believe the people do the work to decide on the best answers for the United States in 2026. We have thus presented our Big Solution number 1, unite the people and fair representation. But we have not finished discussing popular sovereignty. Big Solution number 2, popular sovereignty. However, we have talked about better representation of the people in Congress, and that is sovereignty. But we need to look more closely at how much or how little power that the public controls in our federal government. In our analysis, most of federal power comes from institutions that are never mentioned in the Constitution, political parties. Our system of government is controlled by 2 political parties. The parties choose our candidates and direct their choices. If they do not toe the party line, they are out on their ear. The best way to reduce political party control is to decrease polarization. That is, unify the people, which is our Big Solution number 1. Power of the people can only come from unity. Before we close this episode with Mr. Henry, I will add a couple of engineering or structural analyses of our government. In the top half of this graphic, we have the 3 branches of our federal government: the executive, judicial, and the legislative. The theory is that these share equal power. By this formula, the people are represented in one branch, the legislative. Dividing that further, we conclude the American people manage less than 1/6, or about 17%, of federal sovereignty. If we consider government as it functions today, many scholars might estimate a different distribution: 40% for the legislature, split between the House and Senate, but 35 to 40% for the president, and 20 to 25% for the judiciary. This reflects the modern growth of executive agencies and the Supreme Court's central role. That brings my part of our 4-part series explaining our 6 big solutions to a close, or our 6 BS, as Franklin Avery and I say. As promised, we close with our devil's advocate, Patrick Henry. He is the renowned anti-federalist. He supports our proposals, but we look forward to his insights.
I deny that label, devil's advocate. I accept designated skeptic, guardian of liberty, or counsel for the people. However, history in 1788 proved that political power concentrates naturally, and it takes more than contracts to prevent or reverse that trend. Recent history confirms that cynical observation, even in the United States. As I said in Virginia in 1788, some features of the Constitution appear very frightful. The Constitution defined a system with features and perhaps especially ambiguities that created a government capable of becoming tyrannical. I said, your president may easily become king. I fear that is now nearly true. We see permanent emergency powers, hundreds of executive orders, agencies with quasi-legislative authority, undeclared wars, and intelligence agencies with vast surveillance capabilities. Once such powers accumulate, they are rarely abandoned or returned. As Rousseau said in 1762, "Man is born free, and everywhere he is in chains. Is that due to a human flaw that is fatal for freedom? Will Americans accept the responsibility to govern ourselves? Do they believe they deserve to be sovereign? Are humans destined to defer our will to a stronger authority than our general will and reason? If the people will accept agency and responsibility of self-government, Then we call on leaders to summon the people, not to anger but to duty, not to vengeance but to service, not to conquer one another but to create a republic of free people. Embrace public service as a patriotic and honorable calling rather than a futile exercise. Let every citizen understand that the defense of American liberty no longer belongs to soldiers, judges, legislators, or presidents. It belongs to the people. If the people would remain free, they must choose governors and they must become governors. I embrace our proposal to expand the House of Representatives with citizen delegates. Place citizens beside power wherever power is exercised. Let government forever remember that it is the servant of the people and never their master. I trust no power unless it is diffused, widely distributed, closely supervised, and answerable to ordinary citizens. Liberty is an exception in human history, not the rule. It survives only where free and determined people continue to defend and renew it. The Declaration of Independence affirms it granted to individuals by human nature, but it is frequently denied by governments that control human societies. This will require a movement of conscience, a renewal of Republican character. It will demand audacity. In these times, it is an audacious thing merely to believe that ordinary Americans remain capable of governing themselves. America does not need another Thomas Paine. She needs 1,000. 10,000. Find them in every town, every county, every state. We say they are citizens who speak not for party or faction, not for vengeance or ambition, but for liberty. Let them press on the American people that sovereignty is not an ideal. It is the natural right of humans to govern themselves and their natural responsibility to do so wisely. The people become not only the source of government, but its master.
That was blunt, Mr. Henry. We thank our oratorical Virginian Patrick Henry for that rousing summary. Give me liberty or give me death almost there. And so this ends our episode 2 of our 4-part series of 6 Big Solutions. And next will be Dr. Franklin. We interrupted him a couple, 2 or 3 weeks ago, as he was analyzing the Constitution of the United States of America in terms of his Aristotelian principles. He will review some of that information again, and then we'll go on to develop our next 2 big solutions, and they are number 3, entrench the foundational American principles in the Constitution, and 4, institute an Article 5 constitutional convention. We said these are big solutions and they're big problems. You can see these are as bold as what Paine and Henry just presented, but repeat, big problems, big solutions. So we thank you again for your attention and stay tuned.